Okay, so was some problem with my Microsoft Office Max, which was the platform that I used to generate the other video. So I'm hoping that this one will work better. So this is the second half, continuing on our discussion previously. So now we are talking about the asset allocation. So first of all, mainly the asset allocation is to achieve somebody's return, and it's risk taking goal. I'm sorry, I'm writing using my fingers. It's not doing super well. Um, okay, so everybody has their return and risk profile in terms of their risk tolerance and the return goal. So in every stage of their life, it might be different too. And asset allocation is going to try to somehow build a portfolio in order to achieve their lifetime goal through these portfolios. So typically, you can look at a fund. If you're talking about a fund in the asset classes, you can think about, say, starting by think about, oh, I want 60% in equity for some young investors, maybe 30% in bonds, and 10% as cash equivalents like bills. Or someone who is later in their stage and or like in the middle stage, when they are more conservative and they want 20% of equity, then 50% of bonds, and then 25% of cash reserve. So both of it will work. I'm not saying that which one is better, which one is worse. It's serving different kind of purposes. So the way that we are talking about here is an investment style called top-down approach. So the top-down approach basically is starting from the top and say, oh, depending on my ultimate goal of this return percentage and this risk percentage, I need this much in roughly this class. Okay, so I need roughly 60% of equity, 30% of bonds, and 10% of bills. So this is the kind of first starting point of the top-down investment strategies. Of course, this is not the end because it only gives you a class allocation or asset allocation in a very coarse way. So what is the next step? Well, am I going to go next? Huh? Oh, yeah, here. So next, we are going to, within each asset class, we will have to choose the particular securities. And how do we choose these? Then these will be depending on the analysis, the security analysis, or the value of the securities. Okay, so then we are going to really bog down to the task of which stock is better or which industry is better. Okay, if you're really talking about a true bona fide top-down approach, then you're going to see people thinking about, oh, within the asset class, I'm going to buy so and so much in the industry, and so much percentage portion in another industry, and then within the industry they are going to look down into which size of the firm, like do I want to have large size, middle size, smaller size firms, and how is that going to mix in terms of growth firm or value firm, what kind of breakdown I want in each proportion. So then at the end they can decide, considering all of these, they can decide what are these. Okay, so the bottom, on the other hand, there is also the bottom up investment strategies. So the bottom up investment strategy starts with the security selection. So basically you look into all these securities and pick the best ones. And then you reach up and try to form it into a certain kind of portfolio. And then you reach up and look at it and say, oh, how much of the bonds, how much of the fixed income I do need to put in there in order to make the whole thing work.